Hello everyone. You should hopefully be seeing my desk right now. We're just getting started. I'm also just doing a little audio checking on my phone as well. So it seems like we're all good to go. My camera is struggling so hard to actually capture this for some reason, and I don't blame it. So let me talk about this notebook for a second. If you've not seen the title of the stream, we are making an Animal Crossing bullet journal / planner is the goal. And I found this, which is just a $5 multi-subject planner, and it has, we're going to take a look, these different tabs in it. So I thought this would be really good for doing a bullet journal for different video games that I want to play this summer. I'm looking at a lot of RPGs, and I don't know about anyone else, but I tend to have this really bad habit of starting an RPG and getting really excited about it, getting really into it, and then I play it for like 6 hours and completely forget where I am when I pick up on it next. And especially when it's games that don't have like clear quest markers, or they're more open world, and I just can't remember what I was working on. So that is my plan for this. I did a video a long time ago about video game bullet journals, and for that one I used a really thin, I was seeing if I still had it, but I don't, a really thin style of notebook. Oh, actually I think this is it right here. So this is a traveler's notebook is what it's usually called. So you typically have some sort of cover, usually made of leather, and then inside there's pockets for whatever you want to have on it. And then you fill it up with these smaller notebooks. See, I have all these different ones in here, and they're all stacked and kind of rubber banded. Here you go. You can see the binding. They're all rubber banded in. So, well, not rubber banded, they're, you know, whatever the stretchy cord is holding them in. And I even, so what I did with this one is I even combined another sketchbook on top of it, and I have that being held in the back with a note, apparently. So the first video I did had a notebook probably about, let me look, yeah, like one of these thicknesses was the first one. And it was okay, but I hated the line spacing in it, and I ran out of room way too quickly. I didn't like how it was laid out, and then I couldn't go back and change how it was laid out. I couldn't rip anything out of it. I couldn't reorganize it. You couldn't add tabs unless they were like sticky ones. Anyway, there were just a whole lot of issues I had with it. So what I've done is I've picked up, this is this little $5 notebook, and I got a little, like a 50 pack of random Animal Crossing stickers, and they're supposed to be like waterproof and vinyl. We'll see. I'm just hoping they don't come up. But I think there was a printing error on this because my camera is tripping out so hard trying to focus on it. And it is Katrina, who's not even in Animal Crossing New Horizons, but It's remember bad things are just times that are bad. But I think it's like they tried to do a drop shadow on this very thin type, but the way the drop shadow has been implemented makes it look like a printing error more so than it looks like anything else. So I'm just saying. But I placed some of those around and some other like cute stickers, and then I found these are cool. Let me pull up. Here they are over here. So I found these writable sticker labels, and what you do is, here it is, fold back the top layer and then write on the opaque bottom layer, peel the backing off, and the backing covers it up. So for this, I just wrote, a video game bullet journal, and it's not going to smear, nothing's going to happen to it because it has that protective covering on it. So when we open this up, I haven't done anything to the front cover yet, but one thing I immediately like about this is you can fold it and have it with the spiral just go completely flat. So that's something that was driving me crazy with another thinner notebook, was that I couldn't get it to lay completely flat, and then it's just harder to write in. It makes it preferable to use other pages. It's just annoying. Anyway. So what I saw with these that I thought was cute is that they have a little plastic tab in front of each section. So this one's going to be my Animal Crossing one. So I put a little sticker, Animal Crossing sticker on the front, and then I just wrote my title back here, and this can be like my little cover page for it. So Animal Crossing New Horizons has been out for a while now, and I am by no means like bored of the game at all. But I have not picked it up in a long time, and I can pinpoint exactly, more or less, what led to me not wanting to play quite as much anymore. And I think it was because I was trying to get a certain collection. I'm pretty sure it was like the mushrooms, which I can't even remember. I want to say they are most prevalent in it's like September, or that going into fall season, I guess. And I was so busy. I don't have time, or I didn't have time with my previous job to play a video game regularly enough. It was before I was really implementing like using a bullet journal or a planner or writing down anything when playing games. So I just didn't really have any way to keep track of it. And the whole season, every time I would try desperately to like get the mushrooms and turn them in or craft them or whatever, and I hadn't gotten like a single new item the entire year. And it's like, that's it, unless you use time traveling. That's it for the whole year. So after that, I was just really demotivated because I already had all of the other stuff that was coming out with all the different seasons. And I don't really play Animal Crossing Pocket Camp because I don't like the microtransactions. And I think it's honestly going to be forever until we get a new Animal Crossing game. So this is my way of trying to really get back into it. So this is an easy way to do some type of bullet journal. It would be awesome if this was dot grid, or if it was... really, I just like a graph paper and gridded paper. I like that for bullet journaling as well, and any type of planning. But the spacing on this is a lot better, and the overall pages are a lot nicer than the other ones, and they're perforated, so if you finish something, you can tear it off and just have it go away. And there's lots of pages for each subject, which I like, and there's other tabs, so I can make them for other games. I just recently got into Final Fantasy 14 online. Fairly recently. I would say only since like March or April or so. And that is another game that has a lot of daily things or seasonal things or things that you need to check in on, things that you're trying to progress on that are really easy to lose track of. So I think that might be my next up tab going on here. And the new Final Fantasy 16 demo is out. My husband played it. He played the whole thing to death. He loved it. It looks beautiful. It looks like they are finally getting to that culminating experience with Final Fantasy 16 of their vision of fantasy, you know, as a genre. It's just really interesting to see like this, you know, almost paladin type sworn shield character that you're playing as in the beginning, the young prince and all. It seems very classically fantasy, but almost in a secondary way. I don't know. It's something that I think a lot about, how we're like 2 generations out from what we think of as modern fantasy. But anyway, that's going to be a whole spiel for another time. So I'm going to decorate this page later, probably with stickers or drawings or doodles or what have you. I like how thick this paper is too. Man, that other notebook sucked. And mostly I'm just going to write on the front of pages and then leave the backs of pages for anything else I need to add on. Something else I like about this size, which I can't remember what size it is right now, but obviously it's not letter sized, US letter sized anyway, it's smaller. Is it A5? This might be A5 or A4, I'm not sure. But either way, it is super helpful to have this size because you can just rip things off if it's a daily task system or whatever. So I'm not going to go into Nookopedia yet, which is what I have pulled up. I really like Nookopedia. I can't remember when I discovered it, probably way back when I was playing Animal Crossing New Leaf. Minerva's already crying back there. It's my cat. But I really recommend this one for just getting all the most up-to-date information. They have it in several languages. I think Nookopedia in Espanol recently separated off and got their own thing. So there's lots of cool examples of the information that they have there. But I already have saved the very first thing I want to make in here, which is that daily check-in list. So if you've not played Animal Crossing New Horizons, it, like, you know, other Animal Crossing games, really focuses on that element of daily tasks, things that you are checking in on, that you can get each day, that you have access to. So long ago, on my Pinterest boards, of course, I saved that. So let me go find that. And the daily tasks are something that also were beginning to put me off of playing, mostly because, like, the way my husband plays video games is very optimized. Like, he wants to do things pretty efficiently, and then the way I see people playing Animal Crossing online is sometimes hyper efficient. Like, they have it nailed down exactly when you're supposed to do what and what it's supposed to look like. So I don't know, it's just something that stresses me out, I guess, and this isn't a game that I want to be stressed out with. So I'm going to go ahead and make a daily task list, and this is going to be something that probably stays in the front to just remind me every day. And then my plan is to make... Hi, Minerva. Let's see if the camera moves. No, it doesn't. Okay. So keeping this here, that way I have something to refer back to, and then I can make just like a shortened version for any daily lists I end up making and the whole rest of all of this paper here. So this is going to be daily task, and actually I'm going to make this in marker first, one, so you can see it, and two, so it stands out. It's a little more vivid. So let's get some daily tasks around the island. Something else is we had a year of the Nintendo account that lets you have all of the extra stuff, so we don't have that anymore. I'm trying to save money, and I wasn't using it really to justify it, and that also was demotivating me. So that is another reason why I'm making this, to get focused on what I want to do on my actual island, rather than checking all of the extra stuff they added on instead of getting to work on a new Animal Crossing game. So something that I always want to start first off with is resource management. I don't know why, but sometimes I get into a crafty mood and then realize I just don't have anything. And something that I'm also doing is I have a secondary character on my island who needs to do all of those small resource gathering things to earn up her Nook miles or Nook points or what have you. And also so she can just continue progressing in her character because she's very early on. She doesn't have any storage space. It's really annoying. So I'm trying to do something about that at least. So let's go ahead and talk about resources. So I know there are, let's see, there's 5 wasp nests. And that is a decent amount of bells right there. I feel like it's still struggling to focus a little bit, but it'll get easier. There we go. So your wasp nests, then of course you have all of your trees and however many that's going to be. One thing I do want to possibly look up in Wikipedia is exactly how many trees have stuff in them. I think, oh no, I think I have that here. Okay, so there's going to be 2 trees with furniture. So 2 furniture trees. I didn't know they specifically dropped furniture either, so that's interesting. Then we should have our coins as well. So 10, 100 coin trees. So also we have, you know, whatever rocks. So let me see if I can look up how many rocks there are. And then there's the money tree and the money rock. So let's go ahead and have plants. That's money tree. Find. That was way too many dollar signs. Money rock. Oh, and then there's that beach recipe, that's right. The beach recipes were also getting super disappointing, so I think there has been an update with more stuff out now, and hopefully I can actually get to that point where I'm getting some new stuff. Kind of looks like peach instead of beach. Let's fix that. Here we go. So I'm also gonna go ahead and have just, you know, harvest your crops. So we have fruit and then any other crops. I do have a little crop area on the island. I think I'm kind of okay with where it's at, but I might end up moving it, so I'll probably end up harvesting all of them and just digging that up so I don't have to do that every day for a little while until I replant everything. And let's see. So that's pretty much it for like the resources. I think. Let's go for people. So checking out villagers is also, of course, a great way to get crafting recipes. I tend to forget about it all the time, and you have to go back, basically, and check on them throughout the day, and eventually they'll be in there cooking something, or they'll be in there making something. So let's start with talk to all villagers. And I guess that includes whoever is staying in your tent for the day, or, you know, if it, whoever's staying in your tent for the night, man. No, but whoever is, you know, camping at your campsite or what have you. I almost never end up just getting people from campsites. I have amiibo cards, or yeah, you know, the Animal Crossing cards, so I scan them, and that's like whenever I want a new person in, that's how I do it. I invite them personally. I don't just grab a rando generally. But sometimes it happens when you're away for a really long time. So I guess I'll see, because I have not checked in a while. So talk to all of the villagers. Let's see. Oh, we can look for special guests as well, so. Special guests. We have people like Gulliver. Or Gullivar, if he's the pirate for the day. Of course, we got KK. I had such a great KK Slider album collection in New Leaf, and I've been slipping just so hard with New Horizons. I don't know what it is. And I think that's really, well, I'll keep writing down the special guests. Let's see, there's some more people. I think I also have written down who comes on what day. What day they tend to be there. Let me scroll through my resources. I probably just should have hooked my iPad up to this, because I have quite a bit of this saved. Okay. So, KK on Saturday. And then, oh man, I just forgot the turnip seller's name. Is it Joni? Well, I might have to fix that if that's wrong. So she comes on Saturday, so Saturday, Sunday. Gulliver is apparently a random character, so he is one who may visit your town each week. So I'll just say random weekly for him. And then it looks like Red is another, of course Red's a rando, random weekly. Here we go. And got our Able sister. Yeah, that's right. She went back to using just label. Is it? Wait, hang on. That's not how you spell her name, is it? Is it like that? Yeah, it's probably like that. So she is going to be another random weekly. I do like having a reason to keep expanding my closet ridiculously. And then you have the competition boys. They are also part of the random weekly squad. So I'll go ahead and put them in. Oh wait, and then you also have Celeste. Okay, so Celeste is just at any point for that. Okay. And then I'm just going to say Plaza for anyone else. So I'm going to keep that on that side. And then something else that I have found this to be useful for is just grouping different sort of priorities. So I know one thing that I wanted to work on. I can get this on here. There we go. Just what are some priorities on your island? So I know one thing I want to do is focus on a lot of elevation in my island. So elevation and I don't know how to illusion of depth. So, if that makes any sense. But essentially it's going to be building like up the foundation of the island and then digging into it to create kind of, it looks like a sunken area, but it's not. So that's what I am wanting to focus on overall for my design before I go anywhere else. And then after that, I'm really going to focus on villager grouping. And leaning into that, the main building. Grouping. Because when I first started the game, of course, I just built things, you know, as I saw fit as we were expanding, and that's kind of just how it has stayed. So, those are the big areas. And then after is when I want to focus on the crops and flowers areas. And also I want to add more water elements. And then I've seen a lot of cool things people have been doing with kind of their dock areas or places on the side. So I'm going to add that too. So kind of like dock, coast areas. That way I can have just an idea of where I'm going with this. So we actually didn't end up using this at all, but it's a great resource, and that's all the time we have for today for this stream. So normally I'm going to be streaming whenever I feel like it, but really on not Wednesdays, Thursdays is when you are normally going to see me. I'll be doing crafts, I'll be making things, I'll be playing cute crafty video games, so follow me if you're interested in seeing any more of it. I'm going to go ahead and take us to our ending stream, and I'll see you next time.